Yeah, a little faster than the previous forecast. So let's take our Max 2 computer. You're going to hear us just calling out random numbers here throughout the next couple of days, and different cameras and things like that. This is the satellite picture that we're looking at here as the storm moves up through the Bahamas. You can see the cloud cover stretching all the way up into South Florida now, all the way down into the Caribbean still. That's how large this storm remains. And as we take a look at the latest data from the National Hurricane Center and the latest track from the Hurricane Center, you'll notice a couple of things if you've been following along with us. If you've been sleeping and you're just waking up and seeing this for the first time, here's the latest. Moving northwest at 12 miles per hour, still a Category 3 storm, but not for long. Winds at 125 now, so when it hits 130, it'll become a Category 4 storm, and that is likely to happen later this morning or early this afternoon. It certainly is in an area where there's nothing really to interfere with its development. So here's the official forecast, having it as a Cat 4 at 2 o'clock this afternoon and making a pretty much a straight line right up toward our coast as we move into the afternoon, evening hours. Now, there's a little bit of a curve here in the official track where it rides along the coastline, but if you'll notice, the cone is very far inland. So there is the potential for this storm to slip farther inland, and there's several reliable computer models that do have hurricane force winds stretching well inland to Okeechobee County and on the western sides of Lake Okeechobee. And then it moves up to the north as we get to Friday afternoon. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at tropical storm conditions across our entire area by this afternoon, hurricane conditions for our whole area overnight tonight and into tomorrow. And I'm going to break it down again in a different way in just a moment here. The track takes it up to the north here, and then a lot of people have been asking about this on Facebook, the computer models with this big curve back down toward the Bahamas here and towards South Florida by Monday and Tuesday. And I'll just say a couple of things about this real quick. One, there are reliable computer models that do have this because there's high pressure to the north that pushes Matthew back down. But I also want you to notice that there is a loss of strength with Matthew as it makes this turn. And those same computer models do have Matthew as maybe a tropical depression or just barely a tropical storm as it heads back down this way. There's also a couple of very reliable computer models that just have it shooting off into the Atlantic, and that's a possibility when you look at the size of this cone here. So we don't really want to be overly concerned about this right now. Our main concern is what's going to happen as we get into tonight. So a storm surge, a big issue here, and this is something that's being talked about quite a bit. We could see storm surge anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, 2 to 4 feet in Palm Beach County, 3 to 5 feet northern Palm Beach County, 5 to 7 feet as you get up into Martin County, 6 to 8 foot storm surge for St. Lucie County, and 6 to 9 feet possible, even 7 to 9 feet as you get up in Indian River County and into north of Sebastian. The probability for tropical storm conditions is now 99%. We might as well just say we're going to have tropical storm conditions this afternoon. And if I time it out for you a little bit more here, when you look at this graphic, in the yellow and in the orange, those are tropical storm force winds. So this is 5 o'clock this afternoon, and you'll see tropical storm conditions filling in along the coast and stretching inland. And this is everybody in our viewing area. And I keep getting a lot of questions about well, I live way out west. This is everybody in our viewing area is going to experience tropical storm conditions as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. And here are the hurricane winds and hurricane conditions in red. And watch how far inland these push now in the latest computer models, way out west. And that's not to say that it won't move even farther inland if that eye moves right into the coastline, which is still a possibility. So we want everyone in our viewing area to prepare for hurricane conditions for tonight through tomorrow morning. The Treasure Coast, you're going to see them a little longer because the storm is moving up to the north here. Computer models completely agree with this. All of them very tightly wound together here. That means they're all in agreement traveling in to our coastline or near our coastline